Hello and welcome to the Charlotte Content Marketing Podcast. My name is Andrew Rusnak. I'm the founder of Charlotte Content Marketing. We are a content marketing agency in Charlotte, North Carolina. And, it's funny. I say that, and it should be a given. I'll share a quick story. So one time when we first got started out, and I was meeting with leads for potential contracts, and I had already gone through several meetings with a lead, and obviously I'm not going to name them, but we had been talking, and we discussed several solutions as far as what Charlotte Content Marketing had to offer, what they were looking for, and so we had to bring in a couple other principals from the company, and this is after numerous emails back and forth. This is after a couple meetings, phone meetings, VoIP, all that, and I'm on the call, on the video call with several other people. We're going through, and I give my whole spiel about what we had already talked about and what we had to offer. And so we get to the end. This is like maybe 30 minutes in, and guy stops me and says, "So you guys are more like a content marketing agency." And I mean, as a professional, I try to keep my cool, but I think probably the look on my face at that point probably gave away that I was a little bit more than frustrated with the situation. Because, again, it's Charlotte Content Marketing, which should tell you everything you need to know. But just in case you weren't sure, our website and all of our content is packed with information about how we're a content marketing agency. And I was just kind of taken aback. I was like, dude, what? Like, yes. How did you not come to this conclusion? Plus, like I said, I had already met with people from this company for several times. And so, yeah, that was an interesting one. So I wouldn't think that I would need to explain it, but I guess sometimes I do. But that's no problem. What we're going to talk about today is social media content, social media marketing, what that looks like in 2026. If you're a business owner, if you're a marketing director, you know that social media content can be an incredibly powerful asset when used properly. You also know that it takes time and effort to develop quality, valuable content, not just for your customers and not just for leads, but when you put this stuff out there, the whole goal is we want the algorithm to pick it up and show it to people who haven't seen it. We want it to be seen in relevant markets and by qualified leads, hopefully. But there's also the social proof aspect of it. It gets the name out there. It shows that people are interested in your products and services and stuff. So, I mean, social media is very powerful, and it's very important to focus on. This is not one of those just set it and forget it kind of things. But one of the biggest challenges that I see now, and I mean, this is just human nature. I mean, it is. But one of the biggest challenges that I see is people getting sidetracked by vanity metrics. And vanity metrics can be defined as the number of likes that something got, to a degree, the number of shares that something got, the number of followers that an account has. Now, this isn't to say that those metrics aren't important, and this isn't to say that they don't have value in an overall content marketing ecosystem, if you will. But it is to say that just sheer numbers, just sheer data, the number of followers that your company's account has, the number of likes on a post does not directly equate to revenue. And I mean, as a business owner, that's what you're doing as a marketing director. That's what you're doing. You're trying to. I mean, it's a business. You're trying to make money. That's what it is. And so if your content isn't doing that, or isn't directly leading to that, is not a part of that revenue generation pipeline, then it's a waste of time. And I just see so many business owners get sidetracked by vanity metrics. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that in detail. But before we get to that, and I kind of want to set this up and I want to preface this. So I'm going to show some video footage now to kind of back up my point. So bot farms or click farms or whatever you want to call them. So we've got situations where companies, and a lot of times these are outside of the United States, not always, but you have phones hooked up to, and this is this video, you've got phones or other devices hooked up to a central terminal where they can all be controlled from one computer. And these are individual phones with individual accounts. And so they basically look like individual people, and they all have accounts and logins for, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. And they're programmed or controlled to engage with posts. And so when you come across someone's social media, and this doesn't just go for companies. I mean, when we talk about influencers and content creators and basically big names on social media, no matter what the platform is, and you see they have, tens of thousands, millions of likes and comments and followers and stuff, and you think, well, how did they get that? Now, I'm not saying that this is always the case. There are people out there who have built a brand for their company or for their personal brand or whatever the case may be. But I'm just telling you that doesn't tell the whole story. And so when we're just looking at raw numbers, you may be surprised to find out that you can pay these companies to basically boost your stats. You can pay them to boost your stats, and they will set you up in one of these click farms. And the same thing goes for web traffic and other things online. None of this is new stuff, but I just wanted to show the video so that you could see with your own eyes. And so that the next time you start looking at a competitor, and this doesn't matter whether you're a local business, a regional business, a national business, an international business, don't get sidetracked by the vanity metric stuff, because you never know what someone else is doing to pad their statistics, to pad their public image and make it look like it's more important than it is. So just to dive a little bit deeper into vanity metrics and why vanity metrics in 2026 it's time to put that stuff to rest. So like we just talked about, vanity metrics are metrics that make you feel good. They are metrics that make you maybe look good, but do they translate into revenue? Do they translate into profit? And not always. And part of the reason for that is, the internet is global. And so let's say you make a post on Instagram and the algorithm picks it up and starts showing it to people, and it's a really good post and people like it. They identify with it for whatever the reason, whatever the reason that may be. And it takes off, and people all around the world are now seeing it, and they're clicking like, and they're leaving comments and things like that. And you wake up, to 1 million likes on a post. You think, wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. The only thing is, you're, let's say, the manufacturer of, brake components for forklifts. Okay. That's a very specialty thing. And maybe you came up with some sort of cool ad or post or whatever the case may be, and you put it on your company's social media. And it was a really good post. It was engaging content, and a whole bunch of people thought it was great, and they clicked on it. Those are not qualified leads. Some grandma in Tucson or some 20-year-old in Dusseldorf, is not going to be your customer, and they're not going to likely not going to engage with your content further. They may click on follow or subscribe or whatever the case may be, but it doesn't matter. They're never going to purchase anything from you. And so you can get all these likes, you can get all this engagement and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's not doing anything other than massaging your ego. Now, look, again, it's human nature. I get it. I mean, everybody feels good when they receive likes and shares and stuff like that. I mean, it's that dopamine that hits you. That's not a bad thing. I'm not criticizing anybody for that, but I'm just saying that if that's your metric, if that's your measuring stick, is how many likes something got, then you're looking at the wrong data. You're chasing the wrong data down a rabbit hole in which it's never going to pan out. So that's what was that TLC? Don't go chasing waterfalls, right? So don't go chasing the waterfall of likes and shares and stuff like that. You need to be targeted with what you're doing. You need to be targeted with your social media content. And, in 2026, this is only getting more challenging with AI. And that was going to be the next component to this discussion about social media content in 2026 and how you can best use that. AI, if you spend any time on social media, and Facebook is the worst about this, and I hate to say that too, like I'm now the old guy. It's funny because when Facebook first came out, and I guess I was a late adopter. I didn't get a Facebook account until 2008. There were people earlier than me. But, at that time, Facebook was considered the young, cool, hip thing. And now that was almost 20 years ago. And now I'm the old guy. We used to make fun of old people on Facebook. I think there was like a Reddit group, Old People Facebook or something like that. And it was, posts of older people who didn't know how to use Facebook, and they would post, embarrassing things or whatever. And we'd all kind of sit back and laugh and say, oh, those old people on Facebook. And now we're the old people on Facebook, and the young people look at Facebook and they're like, oh man, only old people use that. But, with AI on Facebook today, now it's become, older people are seeing and sharing and commenting on this obvious AI stuff, and the whole platform has just become just like AI bot central. It's become on a personal level. It's become a little frustrating to use and a little frustrating to see. But yeah, the AI content stuff is a problem. The AI stuff, I'm going to put it like this, and I'm just going to be honest with you. The AI stuff is very easy to spot. I would not recommend using it for a number of reasons, but I think it makes your brand look bad. And that is a sentiment that I have seen shared many times across the internet, across demographics. It just makes your brand look cheap. And I would not recommend it. And I'm talking about for video, I'm talking about for graphics, I'm talking about for written content. I mean, for anything. It may save a little bit of time, but the damage that it can do to your company's reputation is I wouldn't go down that route. If you're going to use AI for ideation for things, to come up with ideas for content, and then you create the content, that's one thing. But to have AI generate the content and then posting it, it just looks cheap. It looks bad, and it can harm your brand's reputation. And really, it's not. We always I always talk about authenticity when it comes to content marketing. I mean, that's really at the crux of what content marketing is, and really any kind of digital marketing, or really to take it a step further, marketing in general. Are you being genuine about your brand? Are you being genuine about the experience of working with your company? And if you're using AI as a supplemental tool and you're ensuring that all of those elements are in there, no problem. If you're expecting AI to take over and be your brand, to represent your brand, you're just shooting yourself in the foot, because AI is not going to be able to replicate your brand's personality, your brand's mission, your brand's the vibe of your brand. No matter how much these companies say, "Oh, well, just type in a couple, type in a couple keywords about your brand, and we'll build out your brand identity." It never works out that way, because no one can replicate you. No one can replicate what your company stands for. No one can replicate the day to day that you put in at your company. And to expect some algorithm to be able to synthesize that is ridiculous, honestly. And so that's becoming a big problem, and I think it's I'm not going to say it's going to become a bigger problem in 2026. I mean, it may. I think the market has become saturated with AI content. AI is no longer some new thing. I mean, it's been around for a couple of years now. Generative AI. I mean, it's been around a lot longer than that, but generative AI is no longer this new flashy thing. And I think the people who are going to try it have tried it. I know in marketing circles in our industry, there's been testing done to see what works, what doesn't, what's going to help, what's going to hurt. And the general consensus remains that as a tool in capable hands, it has some value. It can do some things. As a catch all solution, and many companies are finding this out now. I mean, particularly with coding, as a tool in the hands of someone who doesn't know anything about anything, and they're just expecting the algorithm there, AI, to do everything. They're finding out very quickly that the mistakes that it makes can have real world impacts on your bottom line, and the time that it takes, the effort that it takes to go back through and find where the errors occurred and then correct them, and then you just end up doing more work to correct the problems than if you had just done everything in the first place. So, yeah, I mean, these are just some things that I want you to be aware of in 2026 when it comes to social media marketing in Charlotte, as well as anywhere else in the world, as well as anywhere else on the web, is that your bot farms are real. Okay, it's true. I'm not saying that everybody who gets massive engagement is using them. No, obviously not. But they are real. They do exist, and so don't believe everything that you see. And then also with vanity metrics, I mean, yeah, it feels good to get a whole bunch of likes, to get a whole bunch of engagement, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, do your efforts with social media content equate to, do they translate to revenue? That's it. If not, then it's a waste of time. If not, even if we're talking about something that doesn't directly, now this isn't to say that if something doesn't directly contribute to revenue that it's a waste of time. No. Like I mentioned, social proof. Okay, so other people see it and they think, oh wow, that's a really popular company. Okay, or people really like their content. There's some value to that, sure. Just name recognition and visibility, that's important. But if you're thinking that because something got a whole bunch of likes, that somehow that's going to translate into more dollars in your pocket, then you're wrong. So targeted social media And this is another thing too when it comes to ad campaigns on social media. So running ads on social media, make sure you are targeting people. Don't just hit that button that says boost this post or boost this content, whatever. That's just the social media companies are just getting out a vacuum cleaner and putting it inside your wallet or your purse or whatever. All right. Yeah, they have this stuff set up so that they claim that it's gonna that it's going to target people based on their research and algorithms and stuff like that. And yeah, sure, there's a little bit of that, but I'll just give you one perfect example here. So with Meta, all right, so Meta is Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat. So when you boost a post or you create an ad on there, it gives you the option for Advantage Plus placement, and they claim that based on their super sophisticated algorithms that they're going to show it to the best people. That's going to include showing your ad in mobile games. Okay. Now tell me if you ever been playing a mobile game, you're in the middle of playing a game, whatever, and an ad pops up. You're more than 9 times out of 10. 9 and a fraction out of 10, you're just waiting to get through the ad to keep playing the game. But who's going to interrupt their experience to click on an ad and then go off down another funnel? Now, for name recognition and visibility, sure, I guess. But if you're wanting somebody to take action, being shown in the middle, interrupting someone's experience with a mobile game is not the way to do it. The whole point with social media ads is, as you're scrolling through a feed, you're hoping to catch someone's attention and hold it right there. But don't interrupt them while they're in the middle of doing something and then expect them to take action. Now, it's fine when we're talking about something like YouTube ads. Yeah, they interrupt the experience, and I find that abhorrent no matter what. But they interrupt the experience, and they're not trying to generally get you to take action right now. They're trying to tell you about something. They're trying to, again, build that brand visibility. But it's not like click here now to go and do this because you're getting ready to watch a video. It doesn't make any sense to do that. Why would you set that up like that? That's pointless. And people aren't going to follow through with it, and you're more than likely going to leave a bad taste in their mouth. So anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here about social media ads, but the whole point is you want to be targeted with your social media content, and make sure that it's developed for the type of customer that you're looking to connect with, to engage with, but that also it's being seen in the right places by the right people. And so I would just caution you to use that boost post a little bit more wisely, and make sure you're going through and tweaking all of the various settings within the ad campaign, and not just count on the social media companies, because they're a business too, and they're looking to make money, and they make money off of ads. That's just the name of the game. And so and then lastly, with AI content, just stay away from it. Okay, it looks bad. People can tell when you're using AI content. And I've seen brands get torn apart in comment sections when they try to pass off AI content, particularly the stuff where they're trying to pass off like AI content featuring human beings talking and things like that. It's so blatantly obvious that it's AI, and it's just a really bad look. And there's a growing sentiment of people who are just not on board with the AI content. And really, there's a lot of people who are just sick of seeing it. I know me personally. Anytime I'm scrolling through YouTube and I click on like a history video or something like that, and as soon as I hear one of those AI voices from 11 Labs, I'm done with it. I don't want to hear it. I don't even care if the content is good at that point, and that's unfortunate. but I'm just so sick of hearing these same AI voices, and then knowing that it was done by AI makes me even less inclined to keep engaged with the content. But anyway, if you have questions or you want to have somebody take a look at your social media marketing, your social media content for 2026, Charlotte Content Marketing would be more than happy to have a discovery call with you and kind of chat and just learn a little bit more about what you've got going on and what we would be able to do together to get something good going on for 2026 and beyond. You can visit us online at charlottecontentmarketing.com. You can email us at hello@charlottecontentmarketing.com. And you can also give us a call at 704-323-6762. As with social media, we are on socials. So you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, you can check out the video version of this podcast on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And that way you can keep up with the audio version and get notified about new episodes and everything. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, my name is Andrew Rusnak with Charlotte Content Marketing, and I will catch you next time.